Once upon a time, on a very dusty, very sunny country road, there was a little mouse named Mortimer. Mortimer was a very wise mouse. He did not scurry or scamper. No. He strolled. He took his time. Today, he was walking to the big red barn at the end of the road, but he was in no hurry at all. The sun felt warm on his tiny whiskers. A gentle breeze tickled his ears. He was enjoying his walk. Every single step was a happy step. He believed that the journey was just as important as the destination, maybe even more so. Mortimer stopped to look at a small yellow flower growing by the side of the road. He bent down close. He wiggled his nose. "Hello, flower," he whispered softly. "You are very sunny today." The flower seemed to bob its head in reply, dancing in the soft wind. He noticed the tiny green leaves and the way the petals curled just so. He saw a ladybug crawling up its stem, a tiny red jewel on a green stalk. This was much better than rushing. This was living. It was a perfect moment on a perfect day, and Mortimer was happy to be part of it. He continued his walk, his tiny feet making soft pitter-patter sounds in the dust. He hummed a little mouse tune, a song about sunshine and cheese and friendly flowers. He saw a fluffy white cloud in the big blue sky. It looked just like a giant piece of popcorn. He giggled to himself. Imagine a popcorn cloud. What a silly, wonderful thought. The world was full of amazing things if you just took a moment to look. He felt very lucky to be on this road, on this day, with so much to see and enjoy all around him. The road stretched on, long and winding. To some, it might have seemed like a very long walk, but to Mortimer, it was a grand adventure. Every pebble had a story. Every rustle in the tall grass was a mystery. He was not just walking to the barn, he was exploring a magnificent world. He greeted a fuzzy caterpillar inching its way across a leaf. "Good day to you, sir," Mortimer said politely. He was collecting happy moments like someone might collect shiny stones, and his pockets were getting very, very full of happiness. Suddenly the ground began to shake. Boom, thump, boom! A cloud of dust zoomed down the road. It was not a car, it was not a truck. It was something orange and black and very, very bouncy. It was a tiger. A young tiger named Tiberius. Tiberius did not stroll. Tiberius did not walk. Tiberius bounced. He was always in a hurry. He loved to go fast. He loved to win. He zoomed right past Mortimer, then skidded to a stop, sending dust everywhere. Poof! Mortimer was covered in a fine layer of brown. "Achoo!" sneezed Mortimer, shaking the dust from his whiskers. Tiberius bounced back to him, his tail twitching with energy. "Hey there, little guy!" he boomed. Tiberius's voice was as loud as his bounces. "I'm going to the big red barn. Want to race? I bet I can get there first. I'm the fastest tiger in the whole wide world. Come on, let's race. It will be fun, super fun, the funnest fun ever." He bounced up and down, making the little yellow flower wobble. He was a whirlwind of excitement and energy. Mortimer dusted himself off calmly. He looked up at the big, bouncy tiger. "A race?" he asked in his quiet voice. "But why would we race? The sun is shining. The birds are singing. There is so much to see along the way." Mortimer pointed a tiny paw toward a berry bush. "Look at those delicious-looking berries. A race would mean we missed the berries." He tried to explain that the joy was not in the finish line, but in every step taken to get there. But Tiberius was not really listening. Tiberius just laughed a big, booming laugh. "Berries? Who has time for berries? Winning is the best. The finish line is everything. It's about being number one, the champion." He puffed out his chest with pride. "Come on, little mouse. Don't be a slowpoke. I'll even give you a head start. It will be the greatest race this road has ever seen." He was so sure that fast was the only way to be. He could not understand why anyone would want to go slow when they could go fast, fast, fast. Mortimer the mouse thought for a moment. He looked at the eager, bouncy tiger. He knew he could not win a race against a tiger. A mouse's legs are very short, and a tiger's legs are very long and very bouncy. But he saw the excitement in Tiberius's eyes. Maybe, just maybe, there was a different kind of lesson to be learned here. Not just for the tiger, but for them both. "All right, Tiberius," Mortimer said with a gentle smile. "I will race you to the big red barn. You can start now if you like. I will follow along at my own pace." "Hooray!" shouted Tiberius. He did not need to be told twice. He crouched down, wiggled his hindquarters, and with a mighty roar of excitement, he was off. Whoosh! He bounded down the road, a streak of orange and black. Dust flew up behind him like a cape. "See you at the finish line, slow mouse," he yelled back, his voice already growing faint. He was focused on one thing and one thing only, the big red barn. He did not look left. He did not look right. He only looked straight ahead at his goal. Mortimer watched him go. He did not feel sad. He did not feel rushed. He simply smiled. The race had begun, but for Mortimer, nothing had changed. He turned his attention back to the beautiful day. The berry bush that Tiberius had ignored was calling to him. The berries were plump and red and glistened in the sunlight. Mortimer carefully plucked one. He popped it in his mouth. It was sweet and juicy. It was the taste of sunshine. He ate another and another, savoring each one. This was a wonderful part of the journey. After his delicious snack, Mortimer continued his stroll. The race was on, but he was still playing his own game. His game was called Enjoying the Walk. He saw a family of ducks waddling toward a small pond. "Good morning," he chirped to the mother duck. She quacked a friendly hello, and her ducklings all quacked in a tiny chorus. Mortimer watched them splash into the water, their little ripples spreading across the calm surface. He felt happy watching them. He was not winning the race, but he was winning at having a lovely day. As Tiberius the tiger raced on, he passed everything in a blur. A berry bush? Just a red smudge. A family of ducks? Just some yellow-brown blobs. He was so focused on being first that he didn't see anything at all. His paws pounded the dusty road. Thump, thump, thump. He was getting tired. His bounces were becoming a little less bouncy. His breath was coming in big, ragged gasps. He was winning, yes, but he was also getting very worn out. And he was very, very alone on the long, empty road ahead of him. Meanwhile, Mortimer the mouse was having a grand time. He had left the ducks and was now helping a little squirrel who had dropped his acorn. Mortimer, being small and clever, helped the squirrel roll the big acorn back to his tree. The squirrel was so grateful that he gave Mortimer a shiny, smooth stone as a thank you gift. Mortimer put the stone in his pocket. It felt cool and nice. He had made a new friend. He waved goodbye to the squirrel and continued on his way, his heart feeling as full as his pocket. A little further down the road, Mortimer heard sad little chirps. He looked up and saw a baby bird on the ground who had fallen from its nest. Mortimer couldn't fly, but he was very smart. He found a long, sturdy leaf and gently coaxed the baby bird onto it. Then he carefully, slowly, walked up the trunk of the tree, balancing the leaf like a platform, until he could slide the baby bird safely back into its nest. The mother bird sang a beautiful song of thanks. Mortimer felt a warm glow inside. This was better than any trophy. Tiberius, miles ahead, finally saw it. The big red barn. He used his last bit of energy for a final, super-fast sprint. He burst across the imaginary finish line, panting and exhausted. "I won!" he gasped to the empty air. He had made it. He was first. He was the champion. But there was no one there to cheer. There were no friends to celebrate with. There was just the silent barn, the setting sun, and the lonely sound of his own heavy breathing. He had the victory, but it felt hollow and quiet. Much later, just as the sky was turning a lovely shade of orange and pink, Mortimer the mouse arrived at the big red barn. He was not tired at all. He was smiling. He walked over to Tiberius, who was sitting slumped by the barn door, looking a little bit sad. "Hello, Tiberius," Mortimer said cheerfully. "What a beautiful sunset we are having." Tiberius looked up. "You're finally here," he mumbled. "I won. I won a long time ago." But he didn't sound very happy about it. He just sounded tired. "Oh, I know you won the race," said Mortimer kindly. "You were so fast. But tell me, did you taste the sweet berries? Did you see the little ducks swim? Did you help the squirrel with his acorn? Did you hear the mother bird's thank you song?" Mortimer pulled the shiny stone from his pocket. "A new friend gave me this." Tiberius just stared. He had not seen any of those things. He had only seen the road, a long, boring blur. He realized he hadn't had any fun at all. He had just run. Tiberius looked at Mortimer, who was practically glowing with happiness. The mouse had lost the race, but he seemed to have won something much bigger. He had stories to tell and memories to share. He had made friends. "No," Tiberius said softly, his voice much quieter now. "I missed all of it. I just wanted to get here first." He looked at the beautiful sunset, really looked at it for the first time. He realized Mortimer was right. It was stunning, and it was much nicer to watch with a friend. "Perhaps," Mortimer suggested gently, "tomorrow we can walk back together. We can go slowly. I can show you the berry bush, and we can visit the ducks." A slow smile spread across Tiberius's face. That sounded nice. It sounded much better than racing. Yes, he said, I would like that very much. And so, the bouncy tiger and the wise mouse sat together side by side, no longer racing but sharing the quiet beauty of the moment. They learned that the best journeys are not about how fast you go, but about the friends you make and the small joys you find along the way.